Good day, great day, and grand day to you all. Welcome back on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Thank you all for joining me once again. Today's topic is lessons, part 2. The last video that you all viewed primarily was an introduction to what I wanted to share with you on lessons. So in today's session, part 2 of lessons, I want to talk about how do you know whether something is a lesson or not, and how do you experience those lessons? And then what is it that you have to do to kind of engage it and glean the lesson from the situation that you actually were a part of? And so I will preface this with a scenario. Right. I recently had some discussions with some colleagues and friends, and the theme was all around what am I about to share with you today. And that is, have you ever been in an issue or in a situation or several situations that seems to conclude or seems to have the same results at the end of the session, where you are the one that is feeling all sorts of feelings and emotions. And out of those feelings and emotions, you find yourself saying to yourself, how come I let this happen again? Or how come I let this happen again and I'm still feeling the same way? And how reminiscent it is from historical events where you might have felt like someone sabotaged you, or you might have felt used, or you might have felt abandoned, or felt neglected, or you might have felt that you're not being heard. And all of that renders some sort of feelings within you that is very similar, if not the same feeling that you've experienced over the course of your years. And it doesn't necessarily have to have happened with the same person across the years, because if it's a lesson that is meant for you to learn from, it would happen to people around you that are very close to you, because then the lesson or the universe used those people closest to you to render or to help you teach this, or help you understand and learn and overcome this lesson. So for example, let's say someone growing up felt either abandoned or neglected from their mother or their father or what have you, at a very young age, had this experience. And then as time goes on, whether you've met friends in school, or whether you've engaged in people in the workplace, or engaged and spent time with external family or extended family, somehow, some way, situations occur that renders or leaves you feeling the same feelings that you felt in the past from a slew of individuals. So that shows you that when that happens, yes, there is a lesson for us to learn, right? Especially when people are in multiple relationships and they see that the results are always the same. That's another example. But this is, I want to apply this to a broader audience and broader situations, and not just including that of a partner, but again, of family members, friends, colleagues, what have you. When you see the same situations happen in your extended family, in any part of your social group, and you are left with that same feeling that has constantly reared its head for years, then that's telling you it's a much broader lesson. It's a broader lesson in the sense that the universe has allowed those situations around you to continue to elicit those feelings within you, to call to action on your behalf, to let you know that there's a lesson in this particular feeling. Let me expand a little bit more. Because the universe or the creator makes no mistakes, and this life, this planet, is what some may consider the stage, The universe will use anyone around you or anyone in your travels or anyone in your peer view of energy. The universe will use anyone to help elicit these emotions within you by allowing certain events to be created so that these feelings within you are felt by only you. Those feelings are so much tailored to who you are that you're the only one who can deal with or work through those feelings. So let's say you and your brother has been arguing or whatever the case may be, and one of you storms out or one of you ends up having a fight or whatever the case may be. Yes, the situation happened between you and your brother. However, you are the one who is feeling the feelings that you have within you, and perhaps your brother is feeling his own set of feelings within him. The two most likely will be very different. But because you are the one that is feeling your emotions, you're the one responsible from learning those lessons, irrespective of the fact that someone did something that may have elicited those situations. Your lessons are individualized and crafted and molded just for you. I can't go in there looking with my magnifying glass and see and say to myself, I'm going to make this person feel this and put that emotion inside of them. I don't have that power, right? So individuals may constantly be used to elicit this feeling or this emotion, but you're the only one feeling it, which means you're the one responsible for understanding what is the lesson in that situation or in all situations. I've said in one of my videos in the past that your feelings are the voices of your spirit. And so if you're feeling something, and that's the voice of your spirit is trying to show you something. Oftentimes when you're feeling something and it's the voice of your spirit, it is an indication that your spirit is trying to inform you about the condition of itself. And so when your spirit is feeling something, it needs you to know what it is feeling so that you can rectify that situation. I'll go a little deeper. So yes, you had an argument with your brother and you know, there's always this competition thing and you've always felt like you weren't heard, right? This situation has replicated itself with a partner, with an employer or employee, a colleague, or one of your best friends. Whenever there's arguments in those particular social groups, it seems as if the same feeling arises within you, which is not feeling heard or feeling neglected or what have you. So it can't be that all of these individuals in your social arena is the one that actually is taking that feeling of neglect and putting it inside of you. It cannot be that they're all in cahoots. No. The universe has set it up to constantly teach you a lesson. And if it's happening over and over and over again, the universe, your essence, is telling you you still have yet to learn this lesson. That's level 1. Level 2 is you'll realize that, wow, it's a situation for me and I am the common denominator in all of these situations, but you're the one feeling it. On the second level, your spirit is trying to tell you that the reason why I'm making you feel this way, which is your true sense of self, is because there's a void within you on this planet Earth and the connection that you have with your spirit. So what your spirit is trying to tell you in that situation is it is feeling neglected by you. Why do I say that? I say that because oftentimes when we are in these situations and we're having all of these feelings within us, when you don't address them, when you don't acknowledge that those feelings are there, innocence and inaccuracy, you're neglecting those feelings. You're trying to dumb down those feelings so that you don't feel it anymore. Why? Because they're so uncomfortable and you just don't want to deal with it. And 95% of the population tells me, or not population, but 95% of the individuals that I've worked with often tell me that when they feel feelings that are uncomfortable, that are just unfavorable, undesirable, and they don't want to deal with it because they may not want to face someone or they may not want to talk to someone, oftentimes what they say to me is they push it down, they pretend it's not there, they ignore it. Sometimes people, we use a phrase as sweeping it under the rug, pretending it's not there. But what we're doing, because the feelings is the voice of your spirit, is that we're ignoring our spirit, or you are ignoring your spirit. So when those situations constantly happen and events constantly occur in your life, and you always come to the conclusion that I'm feeling hurt or neglected, that is your spirit's way of communicating to you the state of the relationship that you have with your spirit. So understand, when we're feeling our feelings, or when we're going through the emotions and the difficulty of trying to understand what our feelings are, understand that your spirit is trying to bring awareness to you about the status of your relationship between you and your essence. And it's your responsibility to address them and to stop sweeping them under the rug, no matter how difficult your mind perceives it to be. You have to begin the process of dealing with those feelings within you. Because the more you deal with it and you work through it and you allow your spirit to continue to flow through you, and you reckon with the energies and you reconclude rather, based on what you used to feel and where you are now on your spiritual journey, and the reconclusion of such would be of that would support your new understanding of who you are as a spiritual being having a human experience. So understand that situations don't necessarily happen to us. Those situations and events in your lives are purposeful. And it's purposeful in the sense that the universe, energy, has allowed those situations to happen within you, in your domain, in your area of influence, because your spirit is trying to share something with you. On another note, just quickly, just to add that oftentimes we also say to ourselves, my gut told me this, or my gut told me that, or my spirit told me this. And what do? We ignore it. Why? Because it doesn't satisfy the needs of the mind, or what you've convinced yourself that you needed in this moment. And so in order for you to fulfill the immediate gratification and to earn that immediate gratification, if you will, you have to kind of dumb down what your essence is saying to you. Because in actuality, what your essence is saying to you is your truth. It's a guide from within. But based on how you've concluded, based on your social interactions, based on your historical events, you've allowed yourself to conclude outside of your spirit and determine or depend on the mind to conclude for you. And we have it in reverse. We have to listen to the feelings within us, within you. When you begin to honor what you feel in your core, you begin to honor and love yourself. That is one of the beginning stages of loving yourself. Honoring your truth. Your truth are your feelings, is your feelings. Your truth is all you have. Honoring that space within you is one of the steps of really learning how to love yourself. Your spirit would not take you through these slew of feelings and emotions if your spirit didn't know that this was beneficial for you, for your enlightenment, for your growth. Your spirit wouldn't set you up just to make you fail, because your spirit is you and it has your best interest at hand all the time. So sometimes we have thoughts in our mind that are coinciding with what your spirit has for you, or how and where your spirit has guided you or would like to guide you. You have to trust your spirit. You have to trust yourself. I hope that was helpful for you all. Thank you again for watching. Remember that all of you are loved. Mwah! Thank you for watching. Namaste. And there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Thank you once again all for watching. Remember to click that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, remember you're loved. Namaste.